a quick breakdown in Euro USD. So Euro USD last week has just broke a key level of support, which was maintaining this upward structure. So when you look at the 4 time frame, you're seeing Euro USD has been in this continuous move to the upside, right? Creating high highs, high lows, high highs, high low. Then we're seeing sellers entering the market by creating this low high. Then we finally broke this area of support, this market structure. Then we're just seeing a meltdown. So let's look in the monthly so we could have like a bias of what's going to happen this week. So we see USD in the monthly time frame was in this continuous move to the downside. Then we had this break of structure here in the monthly. Then we had this huge momentum to the upside, right? So when month open, we see a lot of bearish volume coming in the market. You're seeing all of this red candlestick, meaning a lot of sellers are coming here. This could be a slight pullback after this huge momentum to the upside. So we're seeing EMA's crossover so to the upside. So it indicates this red candlestick is just a retracement to the downside, right? So when you break this down to the weekly, we're seeing here structure was broken here, creating high highs, high low, high high. So we could see a slight pullback based on this low to this high. We're saying, yeah, price needs to at least pull back to this area of support. Why support area? Because we see price respected here, rejected here, rejected here. So probably we need to see price at least come to this area of liquidity before either continuation to the upside or maybe continuation to the downside, depending on market structure, right? So that's one thing. And when you look at the moving average, you're saying, okay, we had this big move to the upside, right? So we're seeing monthly time frame, we're seeing a lot of bearish volume. This is a retracement, right? I talked about it. Then weekly, we're seeing bearish volume also, but we're seeing this candlestick is still above. Price crossed above the 14 EMA, indicating we could see a slight rejection here before either bouncing between the 8 and 14. So we could see a slight pullback before continuation to the downside, and price of the candlestick, we need to see another either rejection of the 8 EMAs, then continue to the downside to these targets which are indicated. When you break it down to the daily, we see, okay, this is the area which I was talking about. We're seeing creation of high highs, high lows. We're seeing huge move to the upside, right? Then we see after creating a high high, price came and did a complete retest of the structure here, but failed to push market to the upside. So we're seeing a lot of sellers coming to market. Then we had this sell off, then we had this break of structure, right? So right now we're in a bearish move based on the monthly, weekly, and also the daily. So what's going to happen? So since we have bigger time frames that are telling us we're in a continuation to the downside, and based we need to see price at least come here, which is the monthly liquidity level, right? So on H4 time frame, we're seeing price is still below the EMA, indicating we're still in continuation to the downside. So if you can't see market structure clearly in the here, you just use the moving average to indicate the trend, right? So we're seeing H4 EMAs are pointing downwards. H1, what are we looking at H1? So H1, when you zoom in closely, we're seeing creation of high highs, high lows. Not that clear, but you could see high highs and high lows. So we finally broke this low low and created another low low. So we could, when you pull up your fibs from this low to this high, we need to see at least price come and test this 61.8, at least 50 or 78.6. We need to see clear rejection before any kind of like confirmation for sell off, right? We know overall bias is continuation to the downside, right? But we need to see price at least pull back to 61.8, 78.6 or 50 before we need to see rejection and volume, selling volume before entering a sell. That's one. Manage your risk well. Then when you look at this right side, we're seeing a lot of rejection. Weak here, breakdown to the downside, test, then we had another continuation. So probably this level is going to be interesting level to have an eye on. So I'll be looking for sell short opportunities somewhere around here. My stop loss will be above the 78.6. Then my first target to be around here, my second target to be there. So wish you guys the best. Happy trading week.